Hi there, professional psychic Karen Marie. This is Psyched Up for Sunday, October 10th. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit like, share it with your friends. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the transits for this week, and then I'm going to go and do mini readings for all 12 signs, and I'll be putting the time stamp below. Also, want to let you know that I've been posting 1 minute videos on both Facebook and Instagram. I'll put my links to those below as well, so catch those. All righty. So, as we start this week, we have just had Saturn go direct, in the last few minutes, right before I started recording this. Saturn, the planet that represents how we structure our lives, how we form things, it's how we set boundaries, it's the stop sign in the zodiac. It has just moved forward. It's been retrograde since May. So it's kind of like we've been feeling offline. Pluto, which was also retrograde, went direct last Wednesday. So we have these two outer planets now moving forward. It's kind of like we've been coasting. It's like being on a boat, right? You turn the motor off and you just kind of coast, and then you churn that motor back up and roar, makes noise and heads forward. So with Pluto, which represents death and transformation, it's power and control issues in our life, and Saturn, how we structure things, how we form things moving forward, it's like we're starting to gain traction. It also can stir up the dust wherever you have power and control issues in your life, wherever someone else has been having the power, or you've been challenged to stand up for yourself and stand in your own power. This is like the theme, the backdrop of this week coming up. Okay. So we also have the Sun, Mercury retrograde, and Mars all in Libra. Libra is the relationship planet. Sign. It's also truth and justice. The fairness. It's the scales. So it can be weighing things back and forth and back and forth. So Sun represents our heart. It illuminates things. So the focus, where the Sun is focusing, is relationships. Mars is how we take energy, put energy into things, take action in our life. It's also our ego. That's also in Libra, weighing out, well, do I do this? Do I do that? How do I do this? Well, do I do it this way? That way? Where do I go this way? That it's just, it can be super confusing, right? Especially when it comes to, well, how do I take action? Wait, let me think about it. Especially with Mercury, which represents our thoughts and our communication, backwards, going retrograde. So we're going back over things in our mind a lot, especially in terms of relationships. We can be going back over old and past relationships with Mercury retrograde. It also can be bringing up old issues in relationships that you're already currently in, relationships with yourself included. So there's a lot of relationship energy. It's the opportunity to have a lot of dialogue too, this back and forth and back and forth. If you really honor and listen to someone else in communication, it's great. If you're trying to have power over someone or control someone, Saturn and Pluto, those relationships can go south. Mars is also the god of war. So we've got the Sun and Mercury and Mars all close together. They were exactly conjunct yesterday, Saturday. So they've moved like a degree apart right now as I record this. The Sun is at 18 degrees of Libra. Mars is at 17 degrees and Mercury is at 14 degrees. Mercury has another week of going retrograde. It turns to go direct a week from Monday on the 18th, the same day that Jupiter, which is also retrograde, goes forward. So by next Monday, a week from tomorrow, we'll be having the outer planet. We start again, this traction builds. Jupiter expands things. It's the beneficent, it's good luck. So when it's going backwards, it's at 22 degrees right now. So it also represents our belief system. So it's kind of like, what do I believe? Especially with Mercury retrograde, we can be rethinking, what is it that I believe? The nodes are at 2 degrees of Gemini and 2 degrees of Sag. They're always across from each other at the skies. We're ending up almost year and a half transit of the North Node moving through Gemini. Nodes move backwards, always. They're always the retrograde kind of energy. So they start at 29 degrees and then move down to 0. So by January, the nodes will be shifting signs, will begin a whole new theme in Taurus and Scorpio. So we're not there yet. We're wrapping up the lessons of the North Node in Gemini. What does that mean? It's been feeling like Mercury retrograde for the last year and a half, basically, with the North Node. Maybe I've been asked all year long, is Mercury retrograde? Like now is a yes, but a lot of the times it's no, not right now. You're feeling the North Node. North Node represents like what we're being taught. And that's everyone on the planet right now, because everyone is under the same influence. Right now, at 2 degrees, it's about feeling. So the planet, Mercury rules Gemini, the sign it's moving through. This is why it's felt like Mercury retrograde, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So the North Node at 2 degrees is about feeling our way through things, right? And so I believe our feelings, our intuition is tied into our higher self and our direction. I believe everyone is psychic. We all have intuitive abilities. For some of us, that volume dial is turned way up. We cannot get away from our psychic intuition being loud and clear in our lives. Other people's volume is turned down, or sometimes that volume button is turned off. It doesn't mean you cannot access your intuition. And intuition shows up differently for everyone. Just like we're all, some people are more visual, some people are more auditory, some people are more feeling. All the psychic abilities show up in all the senses. You think of all the different senses, those can be expanded with intuition. I believe that intuition, that psychic ability that everyone possesses, is the voice of the divine within us, the higher self, your Buddha nature, your Christ self, whatever you want to call that. It's the piece that's connected to our soul that continues on after we put our body down, right? And so I believe in past lives and future lives, that we go around this karmic cycle evolving. Hopefully we evolve and grow with every lifetime. Some of us on this planet right now have just bitten off a whole lot to chew, because we're like, I want to come in right now while this planet is going through major change and transformation. We can get a lot of work done. We can get several lifetimes of work done in one lifetime if we're conscious and aware that that's what we're doing. You go to sleep, you check out, you're just plugged into the TV set or not moving forward in your life, not listening to your intuition, then you can just be hydroplaning and have to pick up and do the same kind of lessons over again. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't want to have to repeat my negative karma. I want to transform my karma in this lifetime so that future lifetimes, the starting point is even an evolved, better place, or maybe on another planet where there's more evolution and more kindness and compassion. We're trying to bring that, those of us that are conscious. And if you're watching that, if you're watching this right now, that's, I believe, how you're wired as well, that you really want to grow and evolve as a soul in this lifetime, or you wouldn't be tuning in to my video right now. So North Node, Gemini, we're feeling our way through to rethinking things and how we look at things, how we think about ourselves, even our thoughts towards ourselves are being changed right now. On the South side, South Node represents our past life karma, our belief systems, what we're letting go of, right? So we're being invited with the South Node at 2 degrees of Sag to let go of old beliefs that no longer work for us. I believe we create our realities based on what we're holding, the belief systems we're holding, the inner thoughts that we're thinking, the words that we're speaking, and the actions that we're taking. This creates the future. People get freaked out sometimes when they find out I'm a psychic. They're afraid I'm going to tell them something negative about their future. Psychic readings are way more about getting clear about this present moment, what's going on right now. Yes, we can look to what it looks like the trajectory is into the future, but you're creating your future right now today. You can also get insight from what's gone down in the past, including past lives in a reading, which helps you get a clearer perspective on right now. And no, I'm not telepathic. So no, I can't know what you're thinking. I'm an empath, so I'm going to feel what you're feeling. And I'm a channel, which means information is just going to come through me from the divine, hopefully the highest thing that you need to hear right? And I'm also a medium. So people's loved ones will also contact me and want to communicate. So, and I use astrology and tarot in my private sessions and in this video here today. All right, so we have talked about Sun, Mercury, and Mars and Libra, focus on relationships, Saturn going direct, especially it's at 6 degrees. So the early decan of any degree, of any sign, is about your relationship to yourself. The middle decan from 10 to 19 is about how we relate to others. And then 20 to 29 is about the future or the big picture or where we're going in life. So Saturn at 6 degrees is helping us restructure, set up boundaries when it comes to ourselves. And especially now that it's moved forward, we've had months of rethinking how we should be setting boundaries for ourselves. So I believe everyone's already been given the download, what you're supposed to be doing right now in your life, how you're supposed to be structuring your life, what you're supposed to be picking up and including and embracing in your life, and what you're supposed to be letting go of, setting boundaries and saying no to, right? Saturn going direct will really go, okay, it's go time. Now it's time to put it into practice. You've already been revealed what those changes need to be. Now it's time to do it, especially with Pluto direct as well, death and transformation. Time to transform your life, time to step up into your own power, right? So that's a very strong energy that's going on this week. Okay. Beyond the fact that Saturn is going direct today, right now, and we're taking our power back, what else is going on this week? All right. So Monday, the moon crosses the galactic center. The moon's in Sag right now, Sagittarius, which is also then adding extra illumination towards what it is that we believe. Sagittarius represents our beliefs. It's our higher learning, our spiritual paths, foreign travel and foreigners in our life. These are just some of the themes of Sag. Galactic center is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. So this is like kind of the belly button of our little world here on Earth. So when the moon crosses over the galactic center, something can happen major that affects everyone on the planet, right? It can help illuminate new belief systems in Sag as well. Like here, I invite you to say yes to believing this. Like, what kind of beliefs do you hold about your future? 27 is about beliefs about the future. Do you have a lot of fear? I think the bottom line with the COVID, it's a pandemic of fear. Bottom line, energetically, like I believe all dis-ease starts with negative feelings and negative thoughts. Harbored over a long time. For example, cancer is usually resentment harbored over a long time. Louise Hay, I would recommend her book. You Can Heal Your Life. I'll just pull it out real quick because I have it sitting right beside me. This is one of the best books ever, ever, ever. And one of the things that's super cool in the back of this book is that she goes over illnesses, what their probable cause is, what the illness is, what the probable cause is, and an affirmation that you can say to help you transform this dis-ease. So You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. It's been out for a long time. This is a 20-year edition copy that has some beautiful artwork throughout the book, but highly recommend that, especially if you're struggling with any health issues. All right. So great information in that book. Let's see. Okay, so the moon is in Sag. It'll be going into Capricorn late on Monday. Venus, which is the planet of love, it's who we love, what we want to put energy into, what lights us up, how we receive energy. It's also money, bringing in money. It's Venusian things, right? Things of beauty, right? And so it is sextiling Saturn on Wednesday. So this is a sextile is a lovely connection between how we structure things and what we love. And so there can be this beautiful coming together on Wednesday, illuminating how to take action in how we love ourselves, how we love the people in our lives, how we set boundaries around that. Even like boundaries, like Venusian things can be your art and creativity. And so maybe getting clear about how to write every day, or how to, sit down and practice an instrument every day, or how to, um, get out there and do something new in the garden or in the kitchen as you're cooking, or in your relationships. Again, so Venus is about relationships, adding to this theme of the 3 planets that are in the relationship sign. So it's definitely still relationships, relationships, relationships are the focus right now. The moon crosses over Pluto on Wednesday as well. So moon representing our intuition, our feelings, crossing over death and transformation and empowerment. So you can have some download, some insights about how to show up for yourself, how to take your power back. Again, Venus sextiling Saturn, how to put some structure into building better relationships, and how to put structure into channeling your creative energies as well in a better way, so you can get more bang from your buck. The moon goes into Aquarius on Wednesday. Aquarius is like the double wavy lines. It's about humanity. It's us all vibing together. So as the moon goes into Aquarius, it'll cross over Saturn on Thursday, which again adds even more illumination to this energy of structure and boundaries in our lives, and saying no, setting boundaries like, no, thank you. No, that doesn't work for me. You can set boundaries in a kind way, like no, no, no. So you may have to be emphasizing that over and over and over again, especially listening to your intuition. The biggest block to listening to your intuition is this: the logical, rational mind. This is like a computer that's been programmed by everything you've learned and come across. Again, belief systems, what you've been taught, being up in your head, especially when Mercury's retrograde, can make us be batting things around in our head. North Node and Gemini, same thing. And so this, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe that, can get in the way of just feeling your way through. So I recommend dropping into meditation, breath work, going for a run, going for a walk in the woods, staring at a fire, soaking in the tub. These are all things that can quiet the mind down so you can actually hear the intuitive voice. And some people feel that intuition like coming from your heart. You can feel it coming from your gut. Sometimes you can feel an intuitive thing like in the back of your neck, like raising the hairs on the back of your neck. That's an intuitive place. Some people feel it through the crown chakra. That's where I feel it when I'm channeling. I feel like the energy is literally pouring into the top of my head. Third eye is right here. So you may feel this either on the front side or the back side of your third eye. So this is intuitive information. So if you can quiet the mind enough to tune in, hear that still small voice, and then take action to follow it, you'll be on track for your life. Our inner voice is the GPS system. We listen to that, not Siri, not Alexa. We listen to the inner voice, we'll be in rhythm, we'll be on track with our life. The universe will always confirm for you that you're on track. There's a flow, there's a synchronicity that happens when you're listening to and following your intuition. Conversely, when you're going against your intuitive guidance and you're just trying to rationalize or think things through, you can end up running into the brick walls, hitting all the red lights, getting all the, obstacles in the way. So you can know if you're in rhythm or not by how things are flowing in your life. Is there a flow? It does feel like you're moving forward, or do you feel like you're just hydroplaning, hitting brick walls, hitting red lights, right? If you're hitting the brick walls and the red lights, stop, drop, breathe. One of the easiest meditations is just to focus on your breath. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out, just focusing on the breath. The monkey mind will do its thing. One of the things I do when I first started channeling is I got this visual image from my guides that I should just slide my mind to the side and slide my emotional body to the side so I could be a clear channel to do readings for others. I use that all the time, even when I'm not doing readings, to just, okay, I'm up in my head. Let me just slide that. My emotionals are body stirred up. Let me just slide that to the side. Let me breathe. Let me feel what my intuition is guiding me to do. That intuition is tapped into divine energy, right? The divine within us, the divine that permeates the universe. All right. The moon crosses over Saturn on Thursday. Now, Sunday, we have a trine. Trine's a positive, like a sextile is a positive. Trines is a positive between the sun at 22 degrees of Libra and Jupiter at 22 degrees of Aquarius. And Jupiter's retrograde until Monday the 18th. So when a planet's stopping to turn directions, as Pluto did last week and Saturn did today, we can feel the potency of the planet even more. So Jupiter expands things. And in this case, it's expanding and having a positive relationship with the sun in Libra. So you can have some great illumination around relationships. Or again, more of this relationship theme all week. So that's a positive. And then the moon's going to cross over Jupiter when it's trining the sun. So this can be a super sweet, positive day for illumination around relationships and what you love and who you love and decision making. Also, though, on Friday, we have Venus, the relationship planet, opposite Black Moon Lilith in the sky. So an opposition can be a point of stress or contention. It can bring up something for resolution, I think. So it's opposite Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith represents our deepest fears. Fears are false evidence appearing real, okay? Black Moon Lilith represents fears from past lives, like fears we've encountered again and again and again in lifetimes. So this can bring up fears around relationships, Venus, on the sun, same day that the sun in the relationship sign is trining Jupiter. So there can be an opportunity to overcome a major fear that you have around relationships or around putting energy into what or who you love or receiving love, receiving energy from others. So this is a powerful realization. I think this week is a huge week for having these aha realizations around relationship, like all week long. The moon moves into Pisces on Saturday. And then next Sunday on the 17th, we have the sun squaring Pluto, squaring Eris. This can be super combustible. This can be a signature for war, literally on the planet, war in relationships, war, being at war with anything that has power and control, Pluto with you, like the sun, our heart, what illuminates things, squaring off, like coming, it's like when two people come to an intersection at the same time and there's a fight for who goes first. Especially if there's no stop signs, or if you're in my neighborhood and people don't know what the rules are at a four-way stop, you know. So we have the sun and Pluto and Eris all coming to the same intersection at the same time. So there's a contentious energy next Sunday, powerful, potent. Really listen to your intuition about where to go, who to go, what to have conversations. And I would not be surprised if there isn't some major stuff happening on the world stage this week, especially with the moon crossing over the galactic center and this power stuff going on. And, you know, just because I'm saying these certain aspects on certain days, we can feel any of these transits beforehand. We can feel them afterwards, like Pluto going direct. It was last Wednesday on the new moon. We could still be feeling that, even though it's already happened. Saturn, of course, doing that today. We can feel this. How do we set up boundaries? How do we set up structures coming up against where we need to take our power back in our life? Like that's like, oh, we're going to feel that for a while. And then this sun scoring Pluto next Sunday. Like I said, I hope that we don't explode into warfare somewhere on our planet, but it's a signature for that. Not to mention the fact that we've got Uranus and Taurus shaking up things, shaking up literally the earth. So those are the major transits that I'm feeling led to talk about this week. We also have Neptune at 21 degrees of retrograde. It's still retrograde. We're heading into eclipses. We're going to be having lunar eclipse in November, solar eclipse in December. We start feeling eclipses way ahead of the game too. And this is usually where the the story changes around eclipses. There's some sort of major story change. And again, outer planets that move slowly, when they start shifting and turning in a different direction, it's a narrative shift. And so we're having that right now. So there can be major narrative shifts going down in your life, in the lives of the people around you, in the life of our planet, our country, all that. Okay, so that's all I feel guided to talk about in terms of transits. Now I will move to doing readings for all 12 signs. Now, this is if your sun, your moon, your rising, or if you have a stellium in these signs, right? Okay, stellium is 3 or more planets in the same sign. So even you may have your sun in one sign, moon in another, rising in a third, but you have 3 planets in one sign, that will also show up in a powerful way in your life. So you can find out the rising or the ascendant sign by knowing your time and place of birth, right? And I recommend using astro.com as a free website. You can register for free. There is a bazillion ways you can plug into your chart on that site. I highly recommend it. If you want to know how to work with that site more, contact me. I can let you know how to do that. We can do that in a private session. I can teach you just ways that you can keep digging into your own chart yourself if you're interested in exploring your astrology. All right, but now we're moving into tarot. And for those of you that are interested, I use the Osho Zen tarot deck. This is a non-traditional tarot deck. All right, we'll start with Aries. So this is what the Aries need to know, hear, do, realize for this next week. Oh, we've got the projection card coming up, Aries. Okay, so projection card comes up when someone projects their thoughts, their feelings onto you and does not see you clearly. Notice in this card that both people are doing this to each other. Usually a projection is a mirror. So if someone you feel like is dumping their perspective onto you, and it can often show up with you feeling like you need to defend yourself. Well, that's not true. That's not me. Like, well, you always no, that's if you find yourself in a defensive posture defending yourself. I mean, you could always stand up for yourself. That's one of the themes of this week. But if it's too intensive, like this person is hell-bent on projecting their unresolved things onto you, that's a heads up to step away, right? So tune into your intuition. Is this something where you need to stand up for yourself, say something? Or is this a situation where you just let them blah, 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 and you think, thank you for sharing, and then you remove yourself because you don't have to engage. And then conversely, where are you projecting something onto someone else? You're expecting this person to come at you with a negative energy. You're expecting this kind of behavior from someone. You know what you expect, what you're creating that as well. You're co-creating. So also look at, are you sending the most positive energy towards someone else, right? Are you seeing them in their best self? Sometimes the projection card is not a negative projection. It's a positive projection. This happens a lot with healers and people that are super intuitive. You can sense someone's potential. Oh my God, you're so amazing. You're so wonderful. But is that what the person is generating? Are they behaving from their highest self? Are they behaving from their best potential? Are you locked into something that's real and you're seeing on a daily basis? Are you locked into what it could be? Are you wanting this person to be a better person than they're actually showing up? So this can be, take a clear assessment sign, right? Look clearly at, especially in your relationships. This is definitely happening in relationships this week, Aries. Where are you projecting something positive or negative onto someone else? Where is someone projecting that onto you? I mean, it can be uncomfortable if someone puts you up on a pedestal and they're like, oh, you're just amazing, you're just wonderful, and like, wait, hey, do you see my faults? Do you see I'm a human as well? Like, so that can be just as disconcerting as someone who just goes, you never do this, you always do this, but there definitely is a potential for conflict this week, Aries. So meditate, center, start your day that way, I recommend, so that you can be in tune with how your intuition is guiding you to navigate relationships this week, right? All right, that's what I see for the Aries. Taurus. Take a swig of my drink here. And since I did that when I'm doing Tauruses, like that, I'm getting that that's also a sign. Are you drinking enough water? I'm drinking sparkling water over here, but are you drinking enough water? Tauruses maybe need to spend some more time in water. I'm just saying, everything's connected. Right. What do you guys need to know this week? All right, we got the success card showing up for the Tauruses. So this is good news. This is like celebration. It's like getting the answer that you wanted to hear. It's yaha. This tiger is moving on the globe, crossing over the globe. So there could be some international connection this week, Taurus. Maybe you're hearing from someone on somewhere else on the planet. Maybe you're planning an international trip of some sort, or you encounter someone who actually is from another place on the planet. This could also be happening with this Earth showing up. The tiger here is not a beast of burden in general. So there's something of a taming of the tiger this week with the Taurus, like something that maybe has had your goat that I'm hearing rethinking the way you look at a situation. How do you look at yourself? Do you see yourself as a success? Or do you feel like you've let the world sort of get to you and you've lost your joy about and passion towards what you want to pursue in your life? This to me is go after what you love, what brings you joy. And sit with that question if you don't know. Like, ask yourself that question. Go into meditation with that question. What brings me joy? Right? Just sit with that and see what bubbles up. You might need to keep asking yourself that every day. If you feel off track in your life, if you're not experiencing joy in your life right now, what brings you joy? And then try to include that, try to go after that, try to pursue and move towards something that brings you joy. This can be literal, like success at a job hunt, success, good news coming in. Maybe you get some media highlight. Maybe there's something where the rest of the world sees you and is celebrating you. Maybe you're involved in someone else's birthday or celebration this week, Tauruses. But it's a positive energy for sure this week, Tauruses. Open up and receive it. And I'm really getting the feeling of open up and receiving positive information about yourself, because it feels like I don't know who this is, certain Tauruses I feel have been sort of run down in terms of how they feel about themselves and the potential that they have. So try to go back to that inner child, which is excited about when I grow up, I'm going to be I don't care if you're in your 80s, you still have the potential to create a wonderful future from this point moving forward. If you feel like you're at a dead end job, or if you're doing something that's not bringing you joy, what will bring you joy, and what today can you do towards creating more joy in your life, right? What one baby step can you make towards greater joy in your life? All right. Geminis. The guidance card is coming up for Geminis. So one benefit of Mercury being retrograde, it often changes the hemisphere in which you operate. So Gemini, y'all are ruled by Mercury. So you have a tendency to be up in your heads too much, just in general. Batting it between the twins, right? This may be it, right? So you're very familiar with the Mercury retrograde energy. It's kind of what you live with. When Mercury goes retrograde, it can switch the hemispheres and actually make it easier to follow your intuition. So that's what guidance card is about. It's about listening to your intuition and following it. You know, there's always going to be that twin inside that goes, really? Are you sure I'm not supposed to be going this way? But when you get a strong sense of guidance, and this card is saying, I get the feeling you're going to get a strong sense of guidance this week, Gemini. This is coming from your higher self. So guidance from your inner voice, from your higher self, comes with, Wouldn't you love to? Wouldn't it be wonderful if? Ooh, that feels good. How about this? It's a positive sort of inviting energy where if it's coming from your mind, your brain is like, you need to, you should do this, you must do that, you can't do that, or it, and it's a different, it's a harsher, more critical vibe. The guidance is coming from our higher self, which is a loving, wouldn't you like to? So again, go into meditation, get into a quiet place, and then allow yourself to move from that place and break it down to this one day. What today do I feel guided to do? And if that's too much, what for this next hour do I feel guided to do? Right? I suggest that you ask yourself that every morning. Go into a meditation, take even if it's just a few minutes to breathe deeply, check in with your intuition, check in with your higher self, your guidance mechanism, and ask, what today do I feel guided to do? Right? And then follow it. Or at least note to self what that is, right? You keep asking yourself, you keep getting the same guidance. That's a confirmation. I also ask when I'm looking for guidance for my life personally, all right, guides, higher self, show me, guide me, make it super clear, confirm it several times. So if you're thinking into, say, for example, you've been feeling guided to learn a new instrument, right? And you like, well, I bet your logical mind said, well, I'm too old to pick up an instrument. Why would I do that now? I should have done that when I was younger. Like your mind can just chatter, chatter, chatter. Yeah, you keep envisioning the violin, for example, and you just keep feeling it. And you keep thinking about it, and you hear a violin on, in a song, you're like, God, that sounds so great. Or a fiddle, and then you like pull behind someone with a bumper sticker that has a violin on it, or like you just turn on a YouTube video and there's a kid playing violin. Those are confirmations. It means go ahead, go to a pawn shop, get yourself a violin, or pull out that violin you already have in the cabinet, in the storage. Get the violin back that you gave your younger brother, right? And start playing it. Look up who could teach you violin. That's just an example of how you can follow that intuition. Okay. Now we move on to the Leos. No, that's not true. Cancers are next. Sorry, Cancers. Do the Cancers. Don't mean to skip you. All right, Cancers. All right, the comparison card. This is the oak tree comparing itself to the bamboo. This is like, do not, there's a do not that goes along with this card. Do not compare yourself to anyone else. You have your own unique mission and vision and timing, right, to your life. Doesn't matter if everyone else your age is doing this or already did it by now, or I shoulda, coulda, woulda. No. What now are you being guided to do? Do not compare yourself to anyone else in the world. Well, she did it this way. He did it that way. No. What do you feel guided to do? How do you feel guided to approach it? Also, this can be trying to make something work. This can be an example in relationships where you're trying to get some simpatico connection between someone who just doesn't speak your language. That can be literal or just figuratively. Like, we're just not the same people. Don't try to force something is also coming along with this card, right? Don't compare yourself to anyone else. The only comparison I feel like people should do is to compare yourself to who you were yesterday or who you were this morning. Like, are you improving? Even if it's baby steps, do you feel like you're moving forward in your life? And if you are, congratulations. There's no timer. There's no like, oh, you need to be done by this time. You need to have this all wrapped up and finished. You need to have done it by this. No, that's timing is just something that man puts onto things. If you give yourself permission to flow at your own rate, to evolve at your own rate, to get things started at your own pace, that's all you need. Do it at your pace. Tune into yourself. Spend some time in meditation. Get a clear sense of guidance about what you feel guided to be doing today. And do not compare yourself to anyone else and what they may be doing, right? Listen to your own guidance. follow that through, right? Because I feel like there's a need to tap into more joy. This light behind these two, this is what I'm feeling like the Cancers need to tap into right now. Tap into this inner joy, this just sense of essence and being. It's not always about tasks being accomplished, it's about how you feel. Are you enjoying your life? Are you bringing light into your life? Are you stopping to notice that things in your life that you can be grateful for? Are you getting lost and focusing on the forest, right? Look to the light. Don't compare yourself with anybody. Take some time to breathe deeply and often. Ask yourself, what today, what this moment do I feel guided to do? And at the very least, visualize what that is. If you can take action towards it, that's even better. Okay. Leos. All right, we got the healing card coming up for Leos. All right, so this may be taking action to put down a substance that is not doing well for your body, you know, or picking up one that does, like lots of water, eating healthier. This may be a literal take yourself to the doctor. This could be put yourself in the hands of a healer, on a massage table, on a chiropractor's table, on an acupuncturist's table, with a Reiki master. There's a need for psychological healing and physical healing, Leos. This may not be a week to do a lot of forward motion. This may, you know, you may be sick. You may just have to stop, drop, and tune into yourself, right? Again, I would recommend picking up the book, Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life, and looking up any dis-ease that you may be experiencing in your life and seeing what kind of positive affirmations that you can say to start shifting the energy, or also how you may have created the dis-ease in the first place. This also may be just heart healing. You may have lost someone may have left your life, just like relationship breakup, or maybe you've lost someone to death. And so there can be, you know, there's these stages of grief. And if you're in a place of grief, you've lost someone or something, there's no timer on grief, right? It goes through its different cycles, right? The different stages of grief are a real deal thing, and give yourself extra space. If you've gone through a breakup, if you've gone through some sort of emotionally difficult situation, that's exhausting. You may need extra sleep just to process. That's also okay this week, Leo. Give yourself extra TLC. Put yourself in the hands of a healer if you need to. Trust that this too shall pass. Yeah. Okay. Virgos, you too can have difficulty with Mercury retrograde because Mercury is your ruling planet. So I find that Mercury retrograde really hits Geminis and Virgos in a, it can be toxic way, or you can like, oh no. It's an opportunity to get out of your head, though, and into your intuition when Mercury's retrograde. So that part can be helpful. All right, the maturity card is coming up. So this card represents self-care to me in the deck. This is about how can I turn up the volume and caring for myself? Is that extra soaks in the tub? Is that making sure I have time to meditate? Is that making sure I have time to walk, sit and stare into a fire or a candle, to call friends up that are going to encourage me, to write in your journal, to do some artwork? Like, what feels like self-care to you? Turn up the volume on that self-care this week, Virgos. You guys have a tendency to help and heal other people and put your energy into nurturing others. This is a week where you need to nurture yourself. You deserve to have that oxygen mask drop to your face first, replenish yourself, and then you can go about your lovely healing of others, right? But this is like, you need it this week. It's okay. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. Self-care is the prominent theme this week for Virgos. Okay, take a swig here. Libras. Like, who's next? Libras. The relationship people. And you guys have probably been feeling extra stirred up on a primal level because the sun and Mercury retrograde and Mars is in your sign. So you may feel like all of this is personal. It is. It's an opportunity to really transform some things on a personal level, is what I'm getting really strongly. You have the guidance card as well. It came up for another sign as well. This is about listening to your inner voice in all things. Do not question yourself. If you're feeling guided to do it, follow through. And how do you get in touch with guidance? Shh, the mind. Shh, the emotional body, right? You have to quiet the mind, quiet the emotional body in order to access the intuition. Some of you Libras already have a strong intuition. You already know how to access that intuition. My sense is you may have been overriding intuition and not following its direction. So this is like, to me, the intuition is getting on the loudspeaker this week, and like, you are being guided to do this, and getting that confirmed super loud and clear. If you step off track and you go against your guidance, I feel like you can get like some face plants this week if you step off. It's like, follow the yellow brick road. And in this case, the yellow brick road is the path that your higher self, your intuition is guiding you to do. This is guidance in your relationships, guidance in how you approach your work, how you clean your home. Like, this is like, listen to your inner voice in all things. You can trust the divine voice within you this week to lead you into a new direction. Don't override anything your intuition is telling you about other people either. I feel like you can get a strong sense of guidance coming in this week when it is concerning others. Y'all are the relationship people, right? So you're can be wired to being, well, codependent on the downside, like really just sacrificing yourself for others. This is a week where you take your power back and like, how can I follow my guidance to have a better self life for me, for myself, right? And then also guidance when it comes to other people. Do I feel guided to spend time with this person today? Not really. Okay, well then don't do it. Right? Do I feel guided to, just keep asking yourself that this week. What do I feel guided to do? If you're at a question, you're batting things back and forth. Well, what do I feel guided to do? Right? What is guidance showing me? Just keep asking yourself that, and then taking the time to be still and listen to that, right? You can program yourself before you go to sleep at night. Let me get some clear guidance about direction in my life, which means you may have dreams about it, or you may wake up then in the morning with, okay, I get it. I feel like it's the easiest to tune in the morning before you click into social media, before you open up your computer, or before you turn on the TV and hear the news, before you pick up the phone and start talking to people, before you start texting. Take some time out this week just to access your own higher self and let that lead the way. You'll have a great week if you do that. All right, Scorpios. The Rebel card is coming. This is about breaking through limitations, breaking through the chains that may have bound you. This may be standing up and fighting for the rights of someone else too. A rebel is not someone who just says, F you, I'm out of here. It's someone who like, this is not okay. This is not working. So whether it's something you're doing with yourself and you're like, I'm not going to let this bind me anymore. Like, this rebel is breaking through some chains of some sort. Like, so if you've been, it feels like there's some heavy chains, and this may be even like, again, what you've been doing with yourself. This is a week for a breakthrough. This is the week to set new boundaries. I'm not going to be drinking alcohol. I'm not going to be eating sugar. I'm going to be exercising. I'm going to be meditating. I'm going to step away from this toxic relationship. I'm going to leave my job. Whatever it is, where you're going to get a strong sense of it. I feel like it's the messages of what action you're supposed to be taking are coming through very loud and clear. This is an action card. The rebel takes actions. He's illuminated in the actions that he's taken. It's not just wildly blindly rebelling out of the sense of anger. This is a determined, I'm going to go towards the light. I'm not doing this anymore. You're not going to hold me back anymore. I'm doing this. I'm not going to hold myself back anymore. This could be breaking through in limiting belief systems that you have within yourself, negative thoughts you've been having toward yourself, breaking through that. I'm not going to let these doubts, these fears get in my way. So this is very empowering energy this week for the Scorpios. There's also, it feels like there's a phoenix rising energy that I'm seeing going on too. So there may be sort of a death to something and a rebirth going on. Like, okay, no longer doing that, no longer connecting with this person, with this situation, new beginnings. That's what I see for the Scorpios this week. All right. Sagittarius. I cut to the Lovers card here as I was shuffling. So I get a strong sense of Sagittarius is really wanting love in their life, pursuing relationships, having insights around relationships this week. I mean, everyone, and like if you listen to the part about the transits, there's a strong emphasis on relationships this week, but particularly for the Sages, I'm getting it's even stronger for you guys. And you have the Creator card. This is to recognize that you have the power within you to manifest whatever you want in your life. And it's not about going to access some power or control. It's about uncovering the power that you already have within. We all have the spark of the divine within us, the ability to manifest what we want in our lives. What do you want in your life? Have you taken the time to stop and ask yourself what you want to create? What do you want to create in terms of relationships in your life? What do you want to create in terms of career or how you spend your day? What is it that you're wanting to manifest? Do you believe you can manifest it? If you don't, you need to work on that level. Are your inner thoughts aligned with what it is you're trying to create and manifest? Do you have positive thinking? What are you saying out loud? Are you saying positive things in alignment with what you want to manifest? I'm so excited about the new relationship that I'm drawing in, even if there's no one in sight. Like, do you believe you can manifest a new relationship? Are you getting excited about a new relationship that's coming in your mind and your heart? And what action are you taking? Do you go buy new underwear to be, put on when you're around your new person that's going to be coming in? Do you tweak the relationship corner of your bedroom or your house? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm talking about feng shui. So Google that, feng shui, look it up, get the bakwa. There's feng shui is when you divide up a room or your home into 9 different sectors, right? So typically when you walk in the door of a room, the far right corner is your relationship corner. So however your room is oriented, as you walk through the door of your bedroom, as you walk through the door of your house, the far right corner of any room or of your house is the relationship corner. Okay, for example. So tweak that, right? And then enjoy manifesting what you want. We all are free to manifest the best. Do you believe you deserve the best? If you don't, work on manifesting better belief systems this week, better thoughts. Are you taking action towards what you want? An action can be making a vision board about the things that you want in your life, writing a list of the things that you want. Say you're wanting to manifest a relationship, writing a list of the positive attributes that you want in a relationship, the negatives that you are not willing to deal with either. Like, no, these are deal breakers. These are what I want. Get clear about what you want, right? Some people just hydroplane and they just la, 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 right? Or you could take your power, put out clearly to the universe, I'm wanting a beautiful new relationship. Universe, I'm wanting a beautiful place to go vacation. Universe, I desire whatever it is, fill in the blank, go for it this week, Sages. All right, Capricorns. Y'all may really be feeling this Pluto turning direct because it's in Capricorn. Pluto's in Capricorn. So you may feel, you can feel kind of pissy at any situations where you don't have the power or control in your life, or you may feel empowered and really like feel like you're breaking through. And this is a great time in your life right now. Like we all can manifest the high end and the low end of any sign, any planet. Success card is coming up for you guys, Capricorn. So this is the positive. Yes, you get the job, you get the good news, you have a breakthrough of some sort. There's a connection to the whole globe here. This tiger is on the globe. So there's something that could be connected to international, someone that's in another country, making plans to travel to another country, meeting someone or connecting with someone who is from another place on the globe. This tiger is not limited to any sort of movement, right? He's walking across the water here, kind of the Jesus effect here of the tiger. Also, the tiger is not usually the beast of burden, right? So there's some sort of taming of the tiger, something where it may not be what you expect. You may have a surprise beneficent energy coming in to help you, like someone that you didn't even expect helping you out, right? But there's a celebration, there's good news, it's feel good energy for this week for the Capricorns. All right, Aquariuses. The outsider card is coming up for the Aquarius. So at first glance, this card can look like you're blocked, you're stuck, you can't get to what you want, right? Like this little boy is looking through this gate and he just can see where he wants to go, but he can't get there. If you look a little closer, that lock is just hanging there. It's not fastened. So what this card symbolizes is when we tell ourselves, I can't, and then we don't. So there's some area, some way, shape, or form that I can't is showing up for you. So where are you telling yourself you can't do something, right? You can. What today can I do towards this situation I want to create, this relationship I want to create, this whatever it is where you feel like there's a can't, you feel there's an obstacle preventing you. And if we have an inner obstacle, something within us is saying, I can't, you'll manifest the external obstacle that's reflective of that. The environment is always reflective of what we're generating internally. That's what I believe. The environment is a reflection of ourselves. So if you're experiencing something in the outer world that's not allowing you to do something, what within you is saying that you can't, right? And you can shift that to, it's like the little engine that could, I think I can, 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 right? So you just need to change a tape significantly, an inner tape that you're playing. I'm old school, right? Tape. That vinyl record that has the skip where it always like, this is like a karmic stuck place I'm getting for some of you Aquarians. Doesn't mean even that you've experienced I can't over and over and over again, or like a no. You say you've tried out for, you're an actor and you've been trying to get a part for years and you just keep being told no. It doesn't mean that the next time you go on an audition is also going to be no. I can't get a job in acting. Are you generating that? Maybe you can. If you shift it, you can. If you keep telling yourself you can't, you won't. So where in your life are you saying can't? Change the tape. All right. And then we have Pisces. Ooh, okay. It's the mind card, and it looks pretty self-explanatory here. This is when you crawl up in your head and you might be chewing on worries in the past, things that went down in a way you didn't enjoy how they went down, and you just keep replaying it over and over and over again. Are you trying to figure yourself out, figure something out, figure a problem out, and you just are overthinking it, right? It could be something that's made you angry, and you just keep replaying the angry event, just making yourself more and more pissed off or resentful, right? So you guys need to take off your heads this week, like take it off. Drop into some breath work, drop into your intuition. You're not going to figure it out, right? You're going to have a realization and an aha around it when you stop trying to think too much about it. You could also be worried about the future. It could be future tripping as well that's going on here. In any case, you don't have to be stuck in this place where you're up in your head and you're feeling miserable. You can choose to, again, like I was talking earlier, where you just slide your mind to the side and breathe in, like do breath work, drop your attention down into your heart, breathing in, breathing out. Again, it is often when we stop trying to figure something out that the resolution and the solution comes to us. And that's what I feel is this week for the Pisces. You're not going to be able to figure this out. If you keep replaying, keep worrying about the future, keep repeating what's already happened in the past, bring all your energy into this present moment. What can you be grateful for in this moment? What are the positives in this moment? This to me is a focus on the negative, whether it's the past or the future or the present. Where can you start focusing on what you can be grateful for? Where's the positives in your life? If you're alive on the planet right now, that's a positive. Not everyone has that. Lots of souls have crossed in the last couple of years, right? If you're alive, even if you're in pain, emotional, physical, mental, you are still have the ability to transform something. There's an ability to receive a gift in the current situation. As a Buddhist, I've been taught to turn poison into medicine or turn an obstacle into a benefit. That the very negative stuff that's making us feel cray cray is the very medicine that we need to transform something in our lives. So if you look at it that way, instead of, why do I have this obstacle? Why do I have this negative thing? Why are you always doing this? Why is this always happening? If you're looking at it that way, you're going to keep yourself steeped in this negative. Whereas if you go, how can I use this negative situation to turn into something that's going to benefit my life, right? What is the poison in my life? How can I turn it to medicine? Where are the obstacles in my life? How can I turn those into benefits, right? It's like being the alchemist, right? Okay. One more swig here of my sparkling water before I close up. Not a cig. I've never smoked cigarettes. Allergic. Maybe that's something you need to put down. That's making you feel crazy too, the Pisces. All right. Anything else I feel guided to tell? Again, I'm going to ask you guys to please subscribe to this YouTube channel, share it with your friends, tune in to my daily 1-minute videos on Instagram at Karen Marie Psychic, on Facebook on both my personal page, Karen Marie, and my professional page on Facebook, Psyched Up. Catch a little blurb for the day. Take some time to tap into your intuition and enjoy your life. Peace.